Oh yeah, I can just use that purple right there. All right. So that was kind of obvious. That was kind of obvious right there. All right, man. So let's see. Let's see what happens today. One 45. All right, so let's look at that. I mean, if we go all the way down to 145 today, mm, all right, man. All right, so let's see. Let's see what happens. Actually, let's look at the news and let's see because we didn't get a pump, and that may tell me all I need to know. I hate the fact that I didn't get in at this double top right here. I'm going to try to get the best. I'm trying to get the best entry possible because I don't think the market is going to. I think the market is trying to come back down here. I think we may see a move back down here today. There's no way that we're going to get a move up. So they're going to probably knock this down. We might actually see a move all the way back down. You know what? You know what? Let me cancel this one because that might just be too easy. They actually might be trying to go for. We might see a move all the way down to 1280 today. We could see a move all the way back down here because I'm thinking like I mean this right here you probably might get a reaction in this area, but I feel like that might just be too freaking easy. I think everybody's gonna be sitting here, and that move down to 12 or to 2085 is gonna possibly be that move. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. We'll see if we get there. It would definitely break my heart. It would definitely break my heart um, if we do see a move up today. Last night I was in a long from yesterday. I initially had my target at 780, so I would have gotten my target hit. I was up about $600 or $700. I told myself I should take the profits. I did not take the profits, and because I moved my target all the way up to like a retest of 500, thinking that oh yeah, we can possibly get a retest of 500, and I thought that we was going to at least get that overnight. We didn't get that overnight. What it looks like we're about to get is for the market to start trading to the downside. That's what it looks like. Nice. That's what it looks like. It does look like we're about to get a move down. Um, it kind of sucks. All right, so let's see what they do here. Yeah, I think that's yeah, yeah. That's the move down for sure. That's the move down. I mean, technically, we didn't get a retest of 400, but we got close, and we all know that 95 is close enough. Yeah, I think I missed it. I missed the short opportunity. Mm. I guess what I should do is just yeah, I missed a short opportunity right here. Hey, what's up, my stocks? What's up? Yeah, I missed a short. Missed- I mean, I doubt it though. I mean, I doubt it. I doubt it. Okay, so what I'm looking at right now, we got to retest. I mean, obviously the bears are now selling the retest. So they're selling the retest here. So now I expect for if not a double, I don't think that we double bottom again right here. What I believe could happen is that we could see 40, but my eyes are closer to around 2085ish. I think the market wants to get back into this area because this is the original leg of this move up. Because this is the bulls right here buying the retest of this breaker structure. Because you can see it right here. Actually, I'm going to the higher time frame so y'all guys can see it more clearly. Because right here, this is where we got the breakout right here. So this is why I'm looking at initially 245 initially, but I'm thinking that that might just be too freaking easy. Or I apologize. That was the wrong one. 145. I apologize. 145. Somewhere in this area is what I was looking at to re-enter long 145 somewhere in this area. And I'm thinking that they actually might just run these lows and actually test this right here because like I said, this is where we saw that the bulls and the bears was using this level as resistance right here. Make that straighter. You can see that they was using it as support. We had a break from this level. We had a break out from this level, and they came back in around this level, and then we got that second breaker structure right here. So I'm going to make the assumption that price wants to come at some point back into this level to get a retest. That's what I'm thinking. Kind of wish I was in this short because I kind of saw the setup happen, but we could see them playing around with it because now you can see that the 21, the 50 VWAP is all flattening out, and the only thing that's holding the market up right now is the 200 EMA, and that's not going to hold. especially when you got the EMAs so close together like this. Especially when you got them so close together like that, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That means that price has been consolidating to a point to where all the EMAs are now basically in the same area, which really signifies indecision. At least that's how I see this. That's how I interpret when all the EMAs are close together like that. And especially when they're all flat, when they're all flat like that. So I'm gonna see if I can try to get into a short, but obviously I'm gonna try to get in as high as possible. I mean, we can't sit here and not respect the bulls here. We can't do that because they've definitely been controlling this market. They've come back from what should be literally impossible to come back from, but they've come back and they make new highs every time. So we have to respect the bulls. I mean, the bears can get breaks of structure. The bears don't finish their rotation down. The bulls just stop them in their tracks. They buy them up. They absorb all the selling pressure. We get moves like this, and once the bulls are done taking their profits, then we get these big giant moves down. These big giant moves down. And honestly, that's not the bears taking over. That's just the bulls finally saying, "Okay, I'm gonna take my profits here." I mean, that's how I interpret this market this year now. It's been an insane bull run. Bears had Bears have had no room for success this year. I mean, we get these big moves down, these big move down, big moves down. And even though the Bears get these big moves down, they're minuscule to the moves that these bulls are making. So we kind of have to always respect the bulls here. We can't just fall victim to our emotions and say that price is too high and that we should short it just because it went up all night. It can go further. The bulls have shown that they can get much higher. They've shown that plenty of times. So we have to respect them. And if we take shorts, I mean, we can't be stubborn about it, man. And I'm talking mostly about myself because I can become very stubborn, especially when it comes to shorts. But but I mean, we've kind of been seeing this price action. The price action has not changed at all. It's been doing the same thing ever since I started documenting what it does through like the NA meetings and stuff like that because we see the same thing. We see a bearish move down at the open. We see the bulls come back up. We see a massive rally. And then usually at the start of the session, we see a bearish move down. And then the bulls buy it right back up. So we just have to be on our P's and Q's if we choose to take shorts because we know that at any moment, the bulls will come in and try to reclaim control of this market. So we just have to be very mindful of that. Hell no. Because that'll probably be short lived. Because if we do see a move here, if we do see a move to the upside, I mean, the question is, nah, I won't even take this long. Or at least if it were to take this long, I can't trade with my style with a big target because I don't think the market is trying to get up there. I mean, we got this area of resistance at 405. I'm pretty sure that I mean, if the market does get here, we will see a rejection at this level. Mhm. All right, so let me look at Bookmap. I mean, they got orders sitting at 500. I highly doubt they got orders sitting at 500. Hmm. No, I feel like this is a trap. I feel like this is a drop-based drop. That's what I feel like. I feel like this is the drop right here. This is price ranging, and so we should expect another drop. And we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, let's look at this real quick. In higher time frames, I mean, would suggest that I mean we should see something like that, but I'm not I'm not necessarily interested in that. Then at the bottom of this trend line, so I mean, if the bulls buy here at the bottom of this trend line, 245. I mean, I would doubt that because I mean, yeah, you can see it. We get a big move out, and then price dumps right back into this trend channel. Big move, dump, big move. It came out of the trend channel, and then it kind of made a kind of like a pendulum swing right here, where it came out of the trend channel, and it did the same thing up on top, and then it came right back into the trend channel. Did the same thing right here. Mm. I mean, I can see why they're buying it. I can see why the bulls are buying it. My only thing is that the bulls have VWAP. They have the 21 that they're buying it off of, and yeah, look at the weakness. The bulls are definitely buying it here. They're definitely buying it, but you can obviously see that there's a lot of weakness. There's a lot of selling going on in right now, and the bears, at least for right now, is holding them off. I don't know if that's due to what the indecision of the market right now. I'm pretty sure we have the volume. Let's actually look at the volume. I mean, this is decent, but obviously we should have more. I mean, obviously with the NQ, I mean, this is kind of normal for the NQ right here, the micro NQ. But for the rest of the market, you can see that it is trading under what's normal. The ES is trading at 200K. That's normal for the ES. But the Nasdaq and the micro ES, they're kind of lacking for some reason. Man, I hate that so much, man. I hate that so much. So yeah, so last night, so yeah, oh yeah, I already talked about that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think what's bothering me about the that trade last night is as I'm trying to become a more responsible trader and I have to make logical decisions versus emotional ones. I'm starting to see a trend. Um, huh. I'm not gonna lie, that looks This looks like a short opportunity, but I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it. I'm not taking it. I'm not gonna take it. That looks like one, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not. Anyway, so as I become a more responsible trader and I have to make decisions, last night I told myself because I moved my target and I would have been out of the position, I have to accept I can't allow price to come back against me and possibly stop me out and give me a negative balance. So last night I had to move my target into profit, and unfortunately last night I got stopped out of a trade. When I woke up this morning and saw that initially I did the right thing. I did go into drawdown, but I only went into drawdown literally about 30 bucks, 30 points in drawdown because my original entry was here around like 74. My original entry was at 74. It came all the way down to about 36. And not only did I had a second chance to take my profits, it even gave me more. So, and this is what turns people into the joker. This is why trading in the market is not for those that's not mentally strong enough to handle that. This type of stuff turns people into the joker. I closed a position because it was the right thing to do. I did go in drawdown, but eventually it came back and it hit my target. And I took myself out of this position to be responsible. In another situation, I said, you know what? I'm going to stay in the position, and let's see what happens. And when you see what happens, those are the trades that don't come back and hit your target. Those are the ones that run and they hit your stop. And so you're stuck in a mental and emotional loop. It's like, man, every time I try to be responsible, it works against me. Every time I says, you know what, we're just gonna let, uh, we're just gonna hope, it goes against me. So, and as I read like forums on Reddit, I think it's called day trading or something like that. And I see this a lot where the emotional games that the market plays against traders is diabolical. It's like, man, you go long, that's when the market, like if I were to go long now, then all of a sudden all the bullish pressure that we're seeing right now somehow goes away and the market goes short and vice versa. It's just stuff like that. My heart is telling me that this is a long, but my mind is saying, I mean, if this is a long, then the Bulls would have already taken advantage of this already. The Bulls are having a hard time here, but I don't want to go short either. Uh, I don't want to go short either. So, all right. So we got 5 minutes before the algo comes out. Let's see. I mean, the algo is notoriously bullish. Let's see what happens. It does look like it's trying to build up here. Good morning, JC. That does look like it's trying to build up there. Let me actually look at the higher time frame real quick. Mm. I mean, that doesn't look bullish on the higher time frame, but it definitely looks bullish on the smaller time frame. That can definitely be at least a retest of this high and possibly going into 400, but it don't look that way on the higher time frame chart though. It don't look that way. It's crazy how you can get a different story based on what chart you're looking at. Now let's look at ES. Let's see where ES is at. I mean, that doesn't look bullish on the ES. That looks like, so when I see grinding, especially on the ES, that tells me that obviously the bulls are buying this, but price is getting sold down. Because if you look at the ES, and I'll have this, I'll come back and start constructing the chart again on the ES. So I kind of been slacking on her. Like I said, I don't really trade her. I just look at the technicals and make decisions for the NQ. So I mean, we got this range right here. So I'm going to make the assumption that this is resistance, and you can see that right here. They did use this area as resistance. We got that move down. And then we got this move back up into this area of consolidation right here. And so I'm going to project that out. And so far, I mean, they did use this as resistance here as well, but it's looking like they're trying to sell it again here. I guess if I'm going to go long, I would have to really understand where I'm getting out at if I were to get long. Hmm. We'll see what this algo does. We'll see what it does because I mean the market has just been in really playing with bearish emotions. Yesterday we got a big move down yesterday. The bears even got a double bottom yesterday, which surprised the hell out of me. This double bottom surprised me yesterday. I was like, wow, the bears actually got a double bottom. I'm surprised. You can't even point out double bottoms in this market anymore. All you see is V recoveries. You get chop, 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 run. That's all you see. For the bears to get a double bottom, wow, you got to give it to the bears. You get V recoveries. You don't get double bottoms. Bears don't really get double bottoms. You get V recoveries. All right, so let's see what this algo does. If we don't get a reaction from the algo, that tells me that the price action is going to be slow like this for the rest of the day. We've already seen that when we don't get a reaction at the open, and then on top of that, we don't get a reaction at the algo, that means that we're just going to have a choppy day. And if you're going to trade, in my opinion, I would go into the sim. You're going to get chopped to death today if you don't get a reaction in 6 seconds. If you don't see a reaction. Okay. That right there shows it, man. All right. We got a reaction, but look how price stayed in this box. Look how price stayed in this box. This range. I mean, call it a range. It's not a box. Look how price stayed in this range. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So price stayed within this range. So uh we had no reaction at the open. We had no reaction at the algo. That tells me that it's highly likely that we're going to chop. Neither the buyers nor the sellers are trying to take control. Now, it's obvious that right now that we're currently in a downward trend. We're clearly in a downward trend. However, like I said, I wouldn't short this. I would not short that at all. Hmm. All right. I wonder if that was just all right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm not trading today. That look like I'm not trading today. We're going to chop today, and I'm not gonna go into the weekend emotionally damaged. I'm not going into the weekend emotionally damaged. So if I do take a trade, it will be in the sim. There will always be other trades, but right now is just not the best trading conditions right now. I think we are going short though. I think that was just a short. I think that was just a freaking short. I think that was just a short. I think that was just a short. But still, I mean, even though we're getting a big move to the up and down side, I mean, we're still in this range. It hasn't moved. And this is not a situation unless you're playing the range. Unless you're playing the range, this is not favorable trading conditions. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Look at the ES real quick. Because, I mean, we can be fooled by the Nasdaq, but the ES ain't going to lie to us. ES ain't going to lie. Yeah, this price action is definitely deceptive. This is literally a 50-50 trade. I think the market is set up to go short. It looks like the market has been set up to go short. But at the same time, the structure itself is definitely bullish. This is definitely bullish structure. So this is literally a 50-50 trade. Literally 50-50 right now. Because the Nasdaq looks exactly like the ES. It looks exactly. You see the price action is exactly the same. Exactly the same. Because you got to look at it. I mean, look. Technically, we got higher lows and we got higher high. This is the first higher low. Obviously, price is in a downtrend right now. Price is in this downward trend, but overall, it is bullish until we get a break right here. But you got the 200 and VWAP in the way right now. So let's actually do this. Or could we draw it? I mean, I guess it's once we find the right channel, because this could be the channel right here too. This could be the channel that people are using as well. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I mean, you can't compete with that. Hmm. And I guess this could technically be a head and shoulders pattern too, right here. This could technically be a head and shoulders pattern. You got your right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, and your head right here. I mean, like I said, man, I wouldn't trade today. Uh, I would I wouldn't trade today. If you're gonna trade, hop in the sim. Price is literally floating in midair right now. It's literally floating. It's not doing anything. I would. I would hop into the sim. That would be my recommendation to anybody that's trying to trade this and just practice. Because I think even if you get in, because I mean, look, I I think by the end of the day, we're going to see a big drop by the end of the day. Based on what I've seen previously with price action and the things that I know to be true, the bulls are buying this. You can see one, two, three, four, five, six. You got them but trying 7 times at this area, and this is how you got to visualize that. Look at all the buy stops, the sell stops that are now underneath this low right here. Look at all the sell stops that's underneath this low. If the bears can tap into any of these sell stops, this will definitely be the fuel that it needs to get to the level that it needs. When the market is low liquidity and the market is trying to get somewhere, the market will use the liquidity of stops to get to where it needs to go. And look at that. Before we was even talking about it, it happened. It tapped into this liquidity pool underneath these lows. The market is going to get to where it needs to get to. You see that sell stop? You see the sell stop run? This is how the market behaves when there's low liquidity in the market. I'm sorry, yeah, sell stops. The market is always going to get to where it needs to go. So the way that you kind of you would have to think about the market is you really have to really look at the structure and see where the money is. If you don't look at the market in terms of where the money is, where the liquidity is, you'll become the liquidity really quick. Okay. So it looks like the market tapped into an area that could possibly be support. This could possibly be support right here. As you can see that this is where the bulls bought it, and they bought it right here. And from here, we had that breaker structure right here. Mm. I mean, like I said, man, I wouldn't even trust this, man. But I think we do grind down for the entire session today. Normally, this would be the bears selling the retest right here. That'll be the bears selling the retest. Because usually what we want to see a break, and we want to see them come back into that area where they broke structure somewhere in this area, and this is where professionals are usually getting in to short it for that move down because they have an area to where they can get in, they have an area to where they can stop out because technically the market shouldn't even really get past this trend line, but I mean having your stop above these highs assures that you're giving yourself all the room to be successful in a trade. But I think it's going to be hard for the bears to break through this with low liquidity today. That's going to be hard. So we could see some ping ponging back and forth in this area before we see a break to the up or to the downside. So we might just get the market doing this today. I mean, that looks like a freaking short. You know what? I'll take it in the sim. I'm taking it in the sim. That looks like a short. I'm gonna take it. And this is a good spot where this is a great area to stop out if I'm wrong. It's a great area to stop out if I'm wrong. I think we get a move down here. I think we see. I think we break these lows today for sure. All right, so let me close that down because I'll probably come back later on today to look at taking a swing over the weekend. 93. Yeah, we could see a bounce here at 93 for sure. But 87. Yeah, we'll probably see a bounce here at 87. Probably see that. The one thing about trading, so actually I had this conversation with myself. I was watching another video that inspired this thought. And obviously subconsciously it's true, but I try not to allow this truth to come to the surface. And unfortunately for me this morning, it did. So I will share this with you guys. I was watching this video. It was a relationship video, randomly popped up on YouTube, and it said, uh, what was the video? It said, I'm trying to be politically correct because it's one of those videos. It was saying that people that stay in toxic relationships, they secretly want it because if they don't, then they would, I mean, you always have the power to leave any situation that you don't want to be in. That is absolutely true. Everybody has the power to leave and remove themselves from a situation that they don't want to be in. People that do want to be in the situation will remain in the situation. And the reason why a lot of people like to remain in certain situations where it's toxic is because it's not that people like the situation itself, but they're addicted to the strong emotions that the relationship elicits. some people are addicted to that toxic relationship. A lot of people secretly love it. Now, me personally, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, chaos is absolutely not tolerated. It's not. I have too many things that I want to accomplish, and the chaos and the 10 steps back bull crap, there's people that enjoy that. I'm just not one of those people. I won't ever tolerate it. But then the after I was telling myself this, then that inner voice would say, "Well, then why don't you trade the ES? Why you trade Nasdaq?" And that was the time that's at that moment I had to stop and laugh because it was absolutely true. Trading the ES, I'm about a 90% trader. I mean, I'll lose here and there with the ES, but for the most part, the ES represents the type of relationship that I have outside in the real world. It could possibly be the reason why I don't want it is because I already have it. I feel like as I'm thinking about it, maybe that toxic relationship with the Nasdaq is just I guess it's not even safe because you lose so much money if you're wrong. But I feel like maybe that's just me like being trading the Nasdaq is just a way to kind of experience that. I don't know, it's weird because I can easily trade the ES, but I choose to trade the Nasdaq, which is absolutely crazy using my own logic. I prefer to trade the freaking Nasdaq because it elicits strong emotions in me. I don't feel challenged with the ES. I feel more challenged with the Nasdaq. I feel like if I can have an understanding of what the Nasdaq does and be able to interpret that and capture moves on the Nasdaq, I feel accomplished. When I capture moves on the ES, it's like I already I mean what else was it going to do? I mean, it's not challenging. It's like, what else is going to do? It's not going to just pump up 10 points just to dump. The ES doesn't trade that way. It doesn't do that. So it's like, it's not challenging, but the NASDAQ will definitely do that. She will have you on the edge of your seat. She'll have you thinking that, man, she can go so much higher. She can do all these amazing things. And then she breaks your heart right afterwards. And after you cry about it, the next day you come right back and you do the same exact thing. Trade the NASDAQ. That looks short too. Looks like the Bears are holding that off. So it's just one of those things where it's like, man, yeah, that is absolutely true. I can't even sit here and say that it's not. I can easily trade the ES, but I choose to trade the Nasdaq, and I don't even want to trade the ES at all. I don't want to really trade her. I don't even really pay attention to her. So using my own self as an example, yeah, I guess in some situations, yeah, I guess that's true. And I guess I should have more empathy or because I'm not going to be sympathetic with anybody, but I can be empathetic with people. People just love, I guess, being in those types of relationships, I guess. I guess. I guess I want to be in that type of relationship too. Yeah, I'm not going to move my stop. If I get stopped out of this, I mean, obviously I was completely wrong. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I kind of figure I should have did that. I was thinking about actually putting it up one more tick because the ES does like that crap. That's the one thing that the ES will freaking do to you. Those whole numbers and those ticks. But at the same time, I may have gotten in too early on this one. Yeah, I may have gotten in too early on this one. And you know, the crazy thing is with the ES right now, technically the ES is still in an uptrend. The ES is literally still in an uptrend. Hmm. I'm gonna see what they do at these. I'm gonna see what they do here at these highs. But yeah, the ES is still literally still in an uptrend right now. But it's obvious that they're about to dump this on the Nasdaq though, and that's freaking obvious. They're about to dump this on the Nasdaq. Mm. Mm. All right, so let's look at both of them. Okay. And this is what makes shorts stressful. This is what makes shorts stressful. This is what makes them stressful. Because it's obvious the bulls are no longer in control here, but they are buying. And the way that the market is moving up every time they buy, it makes it feel like they're in control. It's obvious the bears got it. We're making lower lows, and we're making lower highs. The bears got this. It's just that when you're in a position, it just feels like that's not the case. Yeah, that's why you kind of have to know if there's enough room for your targets, because that's like the main thing, is making sure that you have the room, especially trading the way I trade. Because if with my other strategy, I would have gotten my first and my second target hit with little to no drawdown. My first and second target would have been hit, and I think I would have had two runners. But with this strategy, obviously, I'm just up 25 points. Yeah, they're gonna play this out. I mean, they're gonna go back and forth with this. We're not gonna get any decent price action today, man. Excuse me. We're not gonna get any decent price action at all. Mm. Yeah, I mean, where else? I mean, where would they go? I mean, where are the bulls gonna go? The money is to the downside now. The money's definitely to the downside. You can see it. The money's definitely to the downside. The money's to the downside. We'll probably get a break of these lows. We will probably see some bulls come in at 230. I mean, we should kind of expect that at this point. Or if we see this move down and then they break it, I mean, we can possibly, I mean, do they bounce it here? Probably do something like this. All I'm saying is I got a position sitting at 2085 to go long. I feel that at 2085, that's where we could definitely see the market react at that area. That's my bet. If we don't get that by the end of the day, that's what I'm going to be looking for next week. I'm going to be looking for that area, because once they've made this this leg right here, the market is going to go down. I mean, the bulls can hold it, and they're kind of right here. You can see that we have a trend channel inside of a trend channel. It's like a trend, what is it, inception or whatever you want to call it. But you have a trend inside of a trend right now. You got a trend inside of a trend. You can see that they're buying it off of the bottom of this little line right here. They're trying to buy it right there. Dude, honestly, I could probably do this now that I'm looking at it again. I can probably do this because technically, mm, so it's definitely a trend inside of a trend. You can see that they bought it. We got 3 touches of this trend, which confirms the trend. 3 on the top. So, could they do that? 430, 450? I mean, we did see people. We did see orders at 250, 450, but no, my bias is still coming down here. They're gonna want to come down here because there's no point. They're gonna want to come down here first and take this money before they make any dramatic move up. I mean, the only thing that the Bears could possibly, I mean, the Bulls can possibly hope for is a move to 400. Okay. It looks like the market always likes to come back to that break even and just hangs around there. The market is really good at that. It's really good at hanging around your break even. It's like, are you going to get out? I mean, can I fake you out? Are you going to get out? Are you going to get out? And it looks like the ES actually bought at the bottom of that little trend line I drew earlier today. So it looks like they're trying to hold it up as well. I mean, my stop is where it is. I'm not going to move it on the ES. I mean, if it actually gets up here, then that means that the market wants to go higher. And this is what turns people into the Joker, I swear. It's just stuff like this. Stuff like this turns people into the Joker right here. Doing all this playing around at my break even. Okay. Okay. Mhm. I guess I'll do that. So a project that I'm going to do over the weekend, I'm going to look at reversal times, and I'm going to look at market movement. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start I'm going to start it off for the month of September. Depending on how I feel, I can possibly go back further. But I'm going to at least get the month of September completed. Maybe I should do August to September. Mm, all right, yeah. At least 3 months of data. At least 3 months of it. And what I'm going to try to find in this data is I already have an idea of, obviously the times when to trade, but I want to have the data to back that up. Like what times I should really, like what time frames I should come back to the charts and actually look up, because we all know that the market does specific things at specific times. Obviously during lunch, the market is setting itself up for that run at power hour, but it's not power hour. The market sets itself up and it starts to run around 1:30 time, 1:30 central time. And then we just get a continuation into power hour for the most part. But it usually starts around 1:30. Same thing with pre-market. But lately the pre-market has been all the movement now. So that's no longer the case. At least for right now, it's not. A lot of the movement, the liquidity grabs is happening in the pre-market, and the manipulation, the back and forth, the consolidation is happening in the cash session now. So it's like if you're not capturing moves in the pre-market now, it's like you're totally missing out because you're not going to get it in the cash session for whatever reason. So I'm definitely going to start capturing that data. That'll be a weekend project for me. And I'm going to get that set up and I'll have that ready for you guys on Monday. And obviously, we're going to collect the CFTC data over the weekend as well. We're going to see what the institutions have been doing this week. I mean, let's actually look at it and let's talk about what happened, because the data definitely showed itself to be true this week again. That's why if you're not using this information, you're definitely cheating yourself. Where else? All right, here it is. All right, so I mean, let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. All right, so I mean, even though we were bullish, we weren't as bullish as the last 2 weeks, and it shows. This week they were more short than they were last week, and they were less bullish than they were the previous week. And we saw the bullishness, and we saw more of the bearishness this week. So even though they were still net positive, overall the market moved to the upside, obviously. But we didn't see the craziness that we saw the last 2 weeks. We didn't see that. I mean, obviously, we saw the move up for the entirety of this week. This week started on the 22nd. I mean, shoot, they started off the week with the market moving to the upside, and then we got a bearish move. And overall, the market did trend to the upside overall, but we did see more and more bearishness from the market. So that CFTC data definitely did come in clutch this week. It was definitely true. So we'll capture it next week as well. Uh, probably like around like 10:30ish. No, like 10 o'clock. We'll be done at 10. I mean, as I stated before, I knew that once we didn't get that reaction at open, and we didn't get the reaction at the 9 o'clock algo, is that we was gonna get this chop. If we're not getting volatility during the most volatile times of the market, you can already know that, all right, this is what we're going to get for the majority of the day. All right. And this is why I like to keep up the think with bookmap chat to kind of gauge what people are thinking as they trade. And as I was talking about how the market turns somebody into a joker, this guy is literally having a mental breakdown right now. Yeah, he's literally having a mental breakdown. And I mean, as traders, we all have this. It happens to every one of us. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people got trapped in this, man. That's why I made the recommendation just to trade in the sim today, because there's no need to go into the weekend with all that emotional damage. There's no need. I do think overall that we will see a move to the downside. Yeah, the guy was saying one chop and stop, one after another. Now we hit daily loss limit and it pumps. This is a joke. Yeah, yeah, yep. That's what the market would do to you. He says no more shorts, even though overall, like I said, this market is going to go short. In my opinion, I'm strongly biased to the short side today, and I'm thinking that we'll get a really big short. And I will be keeping my eyes on this 145 area, but I think the market is going to probably want 2080. I think this is where the market wants to go, and then we can definitely see like maybe a 100 point, 200 point bounce from here. But this is where I'm gonna keep my limit at today, and if it gets hit, it gets hit. This guy also stated that the ES is over accumulation zone and the NQ is under that. This correlation is a circus. In my opinion, you shouldn't be looking at the ES, or you shouldn't be looking at the Nasdaq for correlation. We all know that the Nasdaq will run and then catch up with the ES. I mean, shit, that's what the Nasdaq does. The only thing that I look at for ES is if I think that I should go long on the ES, I look to see if the ES is in a position to also go long. If the ES is not in a position to go long, then I know that any pump on the Nasdaq will be short lived and met with selling. I just use the ES as a reference. Like in a situation like this, where you got a double top and you have a clear area where the bears can come in and try to sell the retest, the ES is not going to move up and then come back down. It's always going to short at resistance. It's not going to do anything other than that. And even if it did, having your stop literally at this high, like if you got in, like let's just say that you got in at 808, and you had like an 8-point stop. Your 8-point stop barely even got it, you barely got price even coming close to your stop, even if you didn't have the best entry, and price came nowhere near your stop, nowhere near it. Price went up what, 8? So that's about like 4 points, 4 points, and then those that was actually on the short side got their money. Now she did do the thing where she went back to your break even. I mean, I know that can be kind of upsetting, but you still made your money. If the ES looks like it's gonna go long, then the Nasdaq's going long. I mean, it's just that simple. But I wouldn't look for a Nasdaq and ES correlation. That's just my opinion. Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to really think about that. I have to really think about that. Somebody in the chat said, "Why was the NQ so bearish and the ES is so bullish?" Mm, mm, mm. Okay. All right. Mm. Yeah, this the whichever side the market picks to run, it's definitely going to be a big move. It's definitely going to be a big move because there is buy and sell stops on both sides at this point, and it's going to be a big move, really big move. What the hell is my box? All right, that's not it. Okay. All right. So I mean, there's no reason why we should not be moving. There's decent volume now in the market. That's decent volume right there. Hmm. Yeah, let me actually see. I'm actually going to set up an alarm just in no. Gonna, I'm gonna set an alarm just in case, just to see which side the market is going in today. Because this looks like a V recovery, but at the same time, we've seen this crap so often. I mean, it shouldn't even, yeah, it shouldn't get stopped out. I mean, even if it does pump 69, 50, 32, really shouldn't go above these highs. If, man, this is a real short. But I'm not blind to the fact that, uh, I am not blind to the fact that they are finding support at this range. It's just that they're not doing anything with it. They are not doing anything at this range right here. They are holding it up. The bulls are holding this range right here. But at the same time, the bears are also holding this level. Probably what I do, like 808. All right, so let's see. Let's see what happens here. They're definitely holding up this range. All right, so what is that? 245? 245. Could we see a move at 245? Could we see a move at 245? I mean, technically it'll be this double bottom right here. But I feel like we already got the move at 245 already. We got it already. We got the 245 move. Man. I mean, like I said, there'll always be more opportunities to make money. Just we can't cry over spilled milk. Can't cry over it. Ain't no point crying over no spilled milk for real. I mean, if we get a move, I mean, if we get that move, Mm, okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna end it here. I think we're going to get this price action all day. My bias is going to be to the downside, but um, it doesn't mean we can't see a random pump. I'm going into the week green, so at least I mean I'm happy about that. But um, mistakes were made too. Yeah, the price action or Mike stocks. Are you referring to you doing pretty bad? Or are you talking about the price action was pretty bad? Hopefully, it's the stock market and not you. But yeah, the price action was horrible today. Um, that's why we kind of have to just be mindful and be yeah the price action. Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, so that's why we kind of have to pay attention to what the price action is doing and what's happened historically. Even though we don't like it at times, the market does not do nothing different. And as I go over the data, as I annotate the data, I mean, honestly, I figured this out when I started doing the NA meetings. I find myself saying the same exact thing. The market starts off slightly bearish, price trades back into a resistance, and then we get a move down, and then we get a big pump up. The market does this. I mean, it's been doing this. Starts off bearish, we get a bullish pump. If it starts off bullish, we get a bearish pump. I'm sorry, a bearish pump, we get a bearish move down. Um, let's see. I mean, well, let's see if what they do here because we might actually get a nasty stop run. That's what I'm waiting for because it's obvious the Bears are in control, but the Bulls are just relentlessly buying this thing. They're buying this thing, and unfortunately, there's no money up here, so they're not getting that. That the retail is buying this, but they're not getting that institutional backing because the institutions already took their profits already. They've taken their profits, so they're just going to allow people to keep buying and pushing price back up. And I'm looking at Bookmap and I'm seeing a lot of selling icebergs. I mean, all people are doing is pushing price up into their little icebergs. And from what I understand, what icebergs are, those are just orders that get priority over other orders. And I guess it's supposed to be close to a guarantee to get filled at that level. So if I'm a big lot trader, I have an iceberg here at 325. My orders has priorities over others, and my orders get filled first. And I'm almost guaranteed that 325. Now, this is my understanding. Obviously, the icebergs and stuff like that. I don't use that in my trading. I understand that that's all algorithmic, and I understand algorithms obviously move this market, obviously, but I keep it simple. Just a price action. I know if it goes above this level, then I'm wrong. If it goes underneath this level, then I'm right. That's all I need to know. But there's no money up here. There's absolutely no money above these highs. So the market is not going to go there. The money is all now down here. And like I said, I got my eyes on this 2080 area. And I also got my eyes on around 145. I don't know why. I don't know why, but my mind is telling me 145. So that's where I'm looking at. Because 165 could definitely be an area where they come in at too. Obviously, they've been using 165 back and forth, resistance, breakout, resistance, breakout, resistance, breakout. I mean, they've been using this little neckline right here, but I'm thinking 145 for whatever reason. So that's what I'm going with. That's where I'm going with. Or maybe okay, so maybe that's what I did. That maybe that's because it's like 135. and 145 and or I'm sorry, 165 and 135 and 145 is in the middle. That's probably how I got to that. It's probably how I got to that conclusion because it's just in the middle. But there goes the Bears, and we're gonna probably see a nasty stop run. So I mean, but then at the same time, I'm only 5 points into this ES trade though. 5 points in. All right. It looks like the Bulls are coming right back in at this. So yeah. But anyway, kind of going back to my point. If we're not seeing volatility at the open and we're not seeing volatility at the 9 o'clock algo, we can expect chop. We can expect it. Those are the two most volatile times of the market. When we don't get a reactions at those times, I just expect for this to happen. And this is what we got. I just kind of want to see a flush underneath these lows. That's kind of what I want to see before I just walk away from the screen. Because I'm not going to come back and trade this afternoon. I'm just going to come back towards the end of the day, see if my level got hit, and I'll just swing something into the weekend. Okay, so it looks like it's not going to do it. All right, guys, try to stay green out there. Try to stay green. Please, uh, just stay safe out there. You can see that the bulls are buying this, but the market is not going nowhere. If today was a day for you to sit on your hands, sit on your hands. If you have to trade, please just get into the sim. This price action is not worth your mental health and your emotional health. It's not worth your weekend. It's really not. Just look at the thing with Bookmap Chat. You got people in there having mental breakdowns about getting stopped out. I mean, please. It's not worth your mental and emotional health. No problem, Mike Stocks. With that said, we'll come back and we'll do this again next week. With that said, peace out.